Alright, let me get everything started. Alright. Alright, let's see what we get today. I'm not in a hurry to enter a trade, yet I want to take a look at the unemployment claims news impact. See how we go. Good morning, Asinov. This morning I caught the long right here on the 5-minute time frame from this low to this high for a quick 5 points, and then I entered again. Right here into the sell-off, secured 10 points, all up with this long, and the short 15 points. Afterwards, I wasn't really interested anymore. We had a inversion fair value gap set up that played out just nice. We closed above it, then we kept holding support to deliver into buy side. But really, yeah, I didn't like the setup. I would have liked to see a proper market structure shift. We didn't see that. Now we took that buy side, we repriced into the new day opening gap without sweeping the Asian session high. We kept on holding on this 15-minute breaker, and I'm also going to be watching it on the 15 for now. We filled this bearish 15, so right now we're in between PD arrays. Gun to my head, I would say that we're going to run out buy side liquidity. We repriced. Yesterday we had a very aggressive move to the downside. Not aggressive, but slowly with lots of wicks to the upside. Cleared the previous day slow, Monday slow, and last week Friday slow. The next slow that we have available would be the previous week slow, so previous week Monday low. Right here, this purple line. We're below the 50% of our current range if we measure from low to high. Daily market structure shift, so now we're below the 50%. Let's see. That's the optimum trade entry for this entire range, like we spoke about in the weekly outlook. Eventually we have to take some buy side liquidity. And we might do that with this news impact. We also have Powell speaking at 12. And looks like we're running for buy side, testing the breaker block one more time. And this is what we were looking for. I pointed it out inside the VIP section on Discord. We're looking for some kind of head and shoulder setup, inverted. Had the breaker block, the 15-minute breaker block, paired with the 15-minute bullish, paired with the VWAP, with the midnight level to support price here. Played out perfectly. But other than that, we did not have a clean model. This would have sort of been the 2022 model, but I didn't like the entry here. Too much room to the downside for me. I like to always choose the low. I had it happen so many times now that it came down and didn't stop me out by one tick and then shot up. But a 15-point stop loss is just too big for my liking, so I didn't engage on that one. Secured 15 points already on the new Take Profit Trader Challenge. Let's see, let's drop it down to the 5. Yeah, should go for buy side. Very soon, and let's see what it does above that, above the level then. Above the buy side liquidity. Did anyone else take some London trades? Let me... Asinov, did you take some London trades? Good morning, Wef. Good morning, Adolfo. Buy side here at 4347.75. The high of the day being Asia buy side liquidity. Then we have our new day opening gap. Could be that we have seen the low of the day and today is part of a retracement. That's why I have this PD array here on my chart. Wednesday's high. All the way down to London sell side, the low that we formed today. For price maybe to reprice into a premium. We could also measure from the previous day's high. This is previous day's high right here. That would be interesting. 50% would be somewhere around our PM session or AM session range from yesterday. Reprice higher to continue lower. Unless we see a turnaround Thursday. We haven't filled the current new week opening gap in yet. Is it the current one? No, it's the old one actually. The current one would be Monday. This tiny little one. I don't know why I don't have it on my chart right now. Let me fix that here quickly. Template. New week opening gap. And we want to find the 50% of this gap. Reprice lower here. Fill in the inefficiency, and there we continue. Asia buy side and this buy side from yesterday should be the next target. That would have been a nice 15-point short. But I wasn't too keen on it because the risk to the downside was very big as well. Let's see, do we clear the Asian buy side with that next pump up? We took this session high. Yep, we cleared Asia buy side, so we are at a new high of the day. Low of the day being locked in. Breaker block entry paired with the fair value gap. Is the 4-hour bearish breaker? Let me check that out. Let me hide the drawings here quickly and my executions. And Q's doing the same thing. Let me use set to look at the higher time frame here, so I don't have to deal with the drawings. It's a nice low formation, but nah, I don't fully buy it yet. So if we look at the entire range from our market structure shift here on the daily time frame. So if we go into the daily, we form a low, higher low, lower low, higher high. This is our market structure shift bullish on the daily. And then we measure premium discount array from high to low. We reprice lower into the 50%. So that happened. Could get a push to the upside today. So if we now look at the 4-hour, this is the current range. We spoke about that already in our weekly outlook. But what I wanted to see is the sell side liquidity to be taken. The closest sell side in a discount for higher prices. Higher high, lower low, lower low, higher high, higher low, higher high, and then here we had the market structure shift bearish for the 4-hour time frame, which would be our bearish breaker block. And if we measure from our current week high, or from the entire range high to the low, could line up. We have a nice 4-hour fair value gap here, and if we measure from low to high here, decent move into this breaker block maybe. We had a structure shift bullish. No, not really, because we didn't close above it. So we can't really say we shifted here. Let's look at the daily. Made a lower low. We would look at this up closing candle as a daily bearish order block. If we want to continue lower, that's our daily inversion fair value gap. 50% of yesterday's range. Keep in mind that we also have power speaking. So far though, I like the slow formation. We repriced into a discount of the daily range. And right here, we have a lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low on that same hourly candle. This is our 1-hour market structure shift bullish, paired with a 1-hour bullish fair value gap. And if we drop it down from here, the closest buy side liquidity, our most recent lower high, would have been taken here. Here we formed a lower low. SSL taken. There we go. And one more time. Then we have our market structure shift. So the real closest buy side liquidity after this one would be all the way up here. Here we had our structure break. One hour chart looks pretty clean. One hour bearish market structure shift up here. Let's go back, see if we can make some more sense out of it. Bearish market structure shift last Friday, Thursday. Came into this 1 hour bearish fair value gap. And we used that one more time. So we trended lower from here. Bounced off this one right there. Kept holding resistance here, but I do not want to drag that one out. Made a lower low. Then we slowly made our way back up. This was on Monday where we ran out Friday's high. We pulled back into the optimum trade entry and had our up move on Tuesday. Back into this bearish fair value gap, sweeping the previous day's high and this buy side liquidity on the hourly time frame. And then Tuesday opened up. Now that's Wednesday now. When we had this continuous downtrend where we swept out all the major sell side liquidity on our way. So it's fair to say that sell side has been taken, and then the closest sell side further to the downside would be our previous week's low. If we want to continue to move lower. This is our breaker block right here. We formed a low. Don't really count this as a structure point because high, low, higher high, higher low, higher high, lower low. So to get into this breaker block right here at 4366, we would have to move up a little bit. And then we measure from delivered lower from here, then keep on holding resistance there. We reprice below the 50%, so this could be reason enough to, before we eventually take this previous week's low, maybe tomorrow, maybe later on with power speaking, I think a pullback, especially with that hourly structure that we're putting in place, is likely. We swept the buy side. This is our 1 hour time frame breaker. Aligns with the 4 hour time frame breaker. But now we just swept buy side liquidity. Let's measure from our previous day's high, previous day's low, and our entire 1 hour range would be inside the breaker. I think for now a bullish bias won't hurt. We analyze that now from the hourly time frame. So if we now go back to what we have on our 15-minute, we see that we also swept this buy side liquidity pool. We didn't close above the new day opening gap, but we still end up holding support here. And if we consider this being our fake out move or our manipulation move to the downside, let's see where the standard deviations would take us to. 0.5 would deliver us into the current week's new week opening gap. 2.5, 3 standard deviations, 4 standard deviations. Because this was a, I'd say a bigger manipulation move than we usually get. So this could be actually the low of the week formation if we really want to. Ideally, I would have liked something like this to happen a little bit lower. Clean out that previous week's low and continue higher, but you cannot always get what you ask for. Let's see what we're looking like on a 5-minute time frame. No fair value gaps left behind on the 5. We cleared the SPY side and immediately rejected from the low of the new week opening gap. Now, right now, not the right time for me to engage. My bias for ES right now, short-term bullish. I mean, we just did the entire 1 hour, 4 hour daily analysis with the 1 hour bullish fair value gap and all that. We could see an easy retracement maybe above the SPY side during the New York Open, because we are sort of putting in a low formation. But I wouldn't be surprised. We will see what we look at the 9:30 opening. For a short, if I get a bearish reversal setup, 2022 model style, I would take that from our current new week opening gap maybe. Keep in mind that we have power speaking at 12, so 1 hour after that SilverBullet hour. Not ideal. Not ideal at all. The range is already pretty big, that's why I didn't take the long from this breaker block. I didn't like to cover more than 15 points in stop loss, and this is basically what I would have had to do. Entry of the 50% of this entire displacement right here. No, don't like that. 14 points stop loss. Just too big. Already secured 50 in this morning. No need to force anything. 1 minute time frame. This is looking rather bearish even. Swept all the buy side liquidity, hit the old new week opening gap. So we swept it and we immediately reject, leaving behind bearish fair value gaps. We pull back, respecting them to the tick. Now we have equal lows. But we also have overlapping PD arrays right now. We have this bullish fair value gap. Just not the right time yet for me to engage after the news. let's assume that this is our manipulation move to the upside. You see that? 2 standard deviations would perfectly deliver into the previous week's low. Swept all the buy side liquidity that has been left behind for a nice continuation lower maybe. But this is just an idea. If we look at the higher time frames, this idea is not confirmed at all. No bearish fair value gap to base that on. We just bounce with a very likely in 6 minutes we will see a bullish engulfing candle. Going against the higher time frame doesn't make a lot of sense. And right now, bullish market structure shift. Theoretically, all we should be looking for right now is a long setup. Short term. But I do not have a 5 or 15 minute fair value gap yet to base anything on. The only long entry for the AM session would have been with the news candle at 8:30 maybe from the breaker block. The 15-minute breaker block paired with the 15-minute bullish. And if we measure from our displacement low to high, so from this low to the high, we hit the 50% and immediately bounce back up. Like said, I would like to see price to clear all these lower highs that we left behind yesterday. Those would be my buy side liquidity targets above the 50%. Yep. Also hourly buy side liquidity targets. Right here, this would be our previous day's high. Yeah, we can scratch that one for our high, Do I see this correctly? We're inside a 4-hour bearish fair value gap. High, low, lower, low, higher, high. Higher, low, higher, high. Lower, low, lower, low. Yeah, let's just see what's going to happen. Let me actually take a look at the standard deviations. Hide the drawings here quickly. We had the negative 0.5 and nicely bounced off that. Now we're back to the open. 0.5. Let's see if we have anything aligned perfectly. Drawings back on. One standard deviation and the previous week's low looks pretty nice to me. I don't think Powell speaking today will have much of an impact, but we will see about that. NQ cleared previous week's low. Yeah, NQ was weaker, even on Monday already. Cleared, I think, even Friday's low. This could be the potential low for the week, and Thursday and Friday goes back up. Definitely. To finish the undone business, we retraced into below the 50% of our daily range after we shifted market structure right here. And if we would turn this into a ICT fib retracement, it would be the 61.8 retracement level, the optimum trade entry, and the 80% retracement level. I won't go over the monthly and weekly analysis here on the YouTube stream. we keep that for our VIP members on the Discord. But I wouldn't mind one leg lower here. Because we just, touched the 50% here. But the 1 hour chart is already presenting with what you would want to see. Market structure shift. Fair value gap being respected. Highest up closing candle right here. Yeah. Let's see, right now we go sideways. It's 8:55. In 1.5 minutes we get a new hourly candle. And if we continue this move up, here would be our buy side liquidity targets. Our breaker. We had a pretty good week so far. Can't complain. Might even end up being a no New York session trade day. Like said, I also shared the long setup on Discord. The short, I didn't feel confident enough sharing it. Here is long of this little, we swept the previous day's low, pulled back, had our displacement with a nice bullish fair value gap right here. I entered off the 50% of the fair value gap and secured right here at VWAP for 5 points. And what we did here during London was interesting, because if we measure from the high of the day to the low of the day and use the ICT fib retracement, you can see that we had buy side. The only buy side in this entire price leg was right here above the 50%. So price used this fair value cap to reprice above the 50%. Take the only real buy side liquidity that was available. We also had a 15-minute bearish fair value gap here. Once we've cleared that with one tick, we immediately reject it, leaving behind this almost bearish engulfing candlestick. The next candle continued lower, and I was looking for an entry on the 1 minute time frame. I got in on a 1 minute bearish fair value gap. Then we displaced and shifted structure and very quickly sold off. What I liked about the setup is that NQ also was looking great, because NQ at this point in time didn't sweep the previous day's low and had equal lows, equal Asia lows. So that was interesting too. And it played out perfectly for 10 points here and 5 points here. It's $750 on a 50k account for a day. Don't need to force anything for New York today. That's why I also wasn't a fan of this long setup right here. Mm, 5:30, 6, 7, 8. Where do we have the 8:30 open? Right here. And also with power speaking, it might be better to skip AM or maybe only watch it and mainly focus on the PM session. No, I don't think so. No, getting in at the high of the day is not ideal. What I like to do is, if I want to go long and I have reason to believe that we go long, get in below the 50% of the current day's dealing range, which lined up perfectly with this 50% level if we take a close look. want to get long below the 50%. That's where I would have placed my entry, but because I've already made profit, I wasn't really keen. And I was also at the gym. Stop loss would have been too big for my liking. Of course, yeah, you could have said I place my stop loss below the short-term low, but yes, and the index futures can sometimes be rather volatile. You get wicks, or we continue lower, and then still pump up. So I think it's always the safe option to place it at the swing low. 13.5 stop loss. No, not even with micros seemed worth it for me. Yes, of course, also a decent move to the upside. Almost 17 points into the buy side liquidity. But getting in now prior to the New York Open. 2 15-minute candles for prices higher. Now I'm sitting on my hands for now. I don't want to hold you away from executing if that's your setup or if you really like that idea. That shouldn't be the goal of watching me live streaming. Since I've had a pretty good week already, Powell's speaking later at 12. I'm not that interested in chasing. If I already said no to this 2022 model entry, sweep the Asia low, sweep the previous day's low, shift market structure, break up block fair value gap, then I certainly won't enter on anything up here. Even if that means I'm missing on a potential rally back up to maybe 34 points. Big ranges today. If I would have wanted to participate, then the entry would have been down here. Much safer entry than this one right here, in my opinion. But the overlapping confluence is nice. Guys, make sure to hit the like button. This way the stream is, I don't know, the algo, the YouTube algo likes that, I've heard. Be nice, I appreciate it. Check out Discord. Good morning, Kryptonaut, or good afternoon, and cool. Cleared the high again, check the 1 minute here. Equal low sell side. No, I'll be watching for now, and I will take a little break until the New York Open. I won't execute here. There's no point in me watching it the entire time. We're gonna be sitting here for long enough until 11 a.m. I think. Unless we get a nice setup like we did yesterday, then I might end the stream earlier. But for now, we're at the high of the day. Not really interested in going long there, especially prior to the New York Open and with Powell speaking later. I don't think Powell's speech will have too much of an impact because we have the FOMC news coming in, the Fed interest rate decision in 2 weeks, the first week of November. So that's going to be a very hardcore news week. We have NFP on Friday and we have FOMC on Wednesday. It can't get worse. I think today he's only speaking at a university, and I don't think he's gonna drop a news bomb there. I appreciate it, Asinov. Yes, I think the PM session might be a better play. Let's see, we will watch at the New York Open. I think yesterday we caught the long. Which trade did we catch? This one right here on the 1 minute time frame after sweeping sell side, but I unfortunately didn't secure the profits because of what happened on the day before. Where we ran. I wanted to see the same thing, hit the optimum trade entry, but we only repriced into the 50% and then dumped down. Unfortunate. I already dealt with it. And that led me to gamble away some of my profits on my funded account, unfortunately. It sucks, trust me, I know, but that's the reality. I have about $800 left in my daily in my trailing threshold. The issue was that I was up $1,800 at this point in time before I caught this trade. And with this was a $500 profit trade. And because you have that trailing threshold, my highest account balance is sitting right now at 2,350, 2,400 on the funded account. But because I didn't realize the profit, I let it go back to break even. Yeah, that's where the issue comes in, because now after not having accepted that loss properly, I started to gamble a little bit and lost like $500 to $800, and now I completely forgot about that trailing drawdown and how painful that can be. So for me, for the funded account, that's a micro job now. I have to go back to micros to build up my margin again. I took the same scalps like I did on the Take Profit Trader Challenge on the funded account, but I have to build that back up slow and steady. But that's the reality of trading. Alright guys, I'm gonna be gone for a couple of minutes. Let's see what we do inside this week's new week opening gap. The real next buy side would come in around 4366. But in terms of higher time frame buy side, like 1 and 4 hour buy side, we would be looking at these lows right here. We have put in place, like I shared on the Discord server, this left shoulder, head, right shoulder, inverted head and shoulder setup. That's a low formation from which we could frame the rally into that. Let's see what NQ looks like. Yeah, kind of similar. NQ actually cleared that low, while ES did not. Our previous day's high, no, previous day's high, Wednesday, I think would be right up here. Yeah, we will see. Be patient. But for now the bias is long. That's for sure. We will see what happens at 9:30, and with power news, we could have seen the low of the week. Maybe not, maybe yes. There's always two scenarios. Mike, turn that back on. So while being away, I came up with a little giveaway idea. So everyone who isn't a VIP member yet can win a free week worth of membership for the next week. All you have to do is guess the closing price for ES1 today at 6 p.m. New York local time. And whoever's the closest will win a free week. The entries can be shared for the VIP members. You can still participate, of course, but share it inside the general chat inside our Discord server right here. Let me make my bet. Share it like this inside the general chat. The link to our Discord server is in the YouTube description below. Let's see who will win. All right. Higher low, equal lows. So we broke the equal lows. I don't like the equal highs. Let's see what's happening with the New York Open. I think we should have just hit the 15-minute fair value gap now. Right now, if market structure holds up, we would expect a bounce from here and continue higher. Because we have a 1 hour market structure shift, 1 hour fair value gap that kept on holding so far. Retracement to continue higher would be interesting. If we manage to close below the slow, we would have a valid 2022 model. And I am kind of forced to take it, to engage on it. Let's see what the stop loss would look like. Ah, that's okay. Closing in 1 minute. I would target the sell side. Yep, good risk reward ratio. $50 seconds to go. But if we do not close below, I'm not going to take that entry, because then that would be more of a sweep confirmation than anything else. MES1. Nope, looks more like a sweep. Here on the 5-minute time frame. Retraced into that 15-minute one, and likely going to take buy side above these highs. Continue with market structure. Let's watch and see it play out. A sweep, no market structure shift here on the 5. On the 1-minute time frame, swept these equal lows, bounce off the order block. Let's see if we continue higher to clear the equal highs. Hit the bearish fair value gap. This is the bearish fair value gap, but it's not confirmed because we didn't close below it, so I do not enter there. Well, I will consider entries for the entire time of this live stream. You cannot say it like 5 minutes before the chart is, or before today's close is coming in. So you have like 30 minutes until 1 hour, until the end of this live stream. I will note out that time and I will sort out all the entries that came in too late. So join the Discord right here and submit your guess for where ES is going to close today. And the winner will win a 3-week worth of the VIP membership for the next week. There we go. Hit the 15-minute. Yep. Scratch that idea. Buy side liquidity. So you have until, let's say, 11:10, that's where I'm likely going to enter live stream, to submit your guess for where ES is going to close today. Good morning, Agent Smith. Have a little game here. Agent Smith, if you want to participate. I know there's nothing in for you, but you could still win. But, yeah, try to guess where ES is going to close today. My guess is 4,300 down here. Could be completely wrong, but if so, guess I'm right then. So it's just a guessing game. Who cares? Alright, we haven't taken that buy side yet. Let's take a quick look at EU and NQ. NQ already took the high. Continues to move. YM. Check the 1 minute time frame here. $15-minute. %50 of our current 15-minute range. Alright, so we rejected. We fell short of the buy side liquidity by 1 tick. Take a look at NQ. Okay, now I have NQ on the left side. NQ took buy side and also rejected, so we have valid SMT divergence. That's interesting. Check out the 1 hour time frame. I would have liked for these equal highs to be run, but yet we at least have SMT divergence with NQ. But I still think it's more of a reprice lower than a reversal at this point in time, because of the bigger picture reversal setup down here. Doesn't have to mean anything. We cleared the Asia high, we cleared some buy side from yesterday. We have London sell side remaining down there. This is our most recent lower high, higher low. If we break that, that would be considered a market structure shift. We already filled in this bearish fair value gap, which is not ideal, really. That 15-minute fair value gap, let's point that one out. I wish I would have closed below here. We would be on the short end, we would have missed our stop by 1 tick. That's how we like it, 5 points. Run to the VWAP. So we already hit the 50% of this leg right here. Didn't close below. On the 1 minute, yes. Yeah, might have been a 1 minute time frame entry. Higher high, we closed below. We came back into the bearish fair value gap. For at least a quick scalp, like something like this. For me, the real confirmation that we are going to run for the London sell side is once we go below the low right here, and then we could eventually even look forward to target the previous week's low. But as long as we're rejecting here, not really a fan of getting short on a what could potentially be a pullback. Come on. Oh, sorry. A pullback on the higher time frame to continue higher. After having set up a reversal model during the London session prior to the New York Open. Let's check for a regular trading hours gap. Today we do not have a gap. That's nice. And with equal high buy side above, let's check out NQ. What's NQ up to? Oh, NQ already sold off much stronger. One minute fair value gap available? Nope, not on this price leg. Might have been the entry right here, and I could have missed it. Let's see, maybe we get a new 5-minute bearish fair value gap that we could enter on. See if we had anything on NQ. Market structure shift on the 5 and on the 1 minute. Nah, tough one. We hit the VWAP and the 830 level. Almost the 61.8 retracement level with the optimum trade entry here. NQ almost swept that sell side. That would be sell side and discount for higher prices. So just because we sweep wouldn't necessarily have to mean that we have to take out all the lows. It could just be a little retracement. Little, yeah. NQ took the lows. We'll keep an eye on it here. Yes, it's still holding up relatively strong here. Did it? Yes. And we see another rejection. Check out the 1 minute time frame here. A new 5-minute bearish fair value gap. paired with the breaker block. I don't like these equal highs above, and that the general trend here is bullish. Took out these lows, holding around the 830 level paired with the VWAP. Just consolidating here. Once you cleared that liquidity, immediately had a little bounce back up. Low key, if we get if we see a strong displacement to the upside above this high, with a fair value gap being left behind, I would take that long, in line with the higher time frame market structure. If we break here, the short entry would have been right up here, but too risky. I mean, we just closed at 828 below that market structure shift level. 930 opens up. It's super easy to get stopped out there. We have now retraced towards, let's see, the 61.8, so we hit the golden pocket. Bouncing off the VWAP in line with that higher time frame trend. If I get a reversal setup here, I would take that. If we collapse and also take the sell side, I am content with having missed that. But yeah, the risk for me prior to the New York Open, it's just too high. We also didn't respect that. I think it was pure luck that we didn't clear these obvious equal highs then in this case. Let's see if we got some entries already in the giveaway, or if no one cares, that's fine too. I guess most of the people want to wait to make a high probability guess. Mm, 15-minute time frame, close below the bullish fair value gap here. 1 hour time frame. It's basically this entire candle from 7 until 8. Keep on bouncing here. We made a new lower low, so this would be the market structure shift level. Price is moving slowly right now. Nothing wrong with that, of course. I strong this placement above with a fair value gap is what I'm asking for to engage right now. Off the VWAP, golden pocket, and all that stuff. Alright, we already won't leave behind a fair value gap. Not really interested. On NQ, that structure break looks much cleaner. We didn't close above it yet. We only opened right on that level. My alert is set for EU shorts. If we would look for longs in Tesca. No, that's not actually a long entry. Alright, there goes long we've been talking about, but without giving the appropriate setup. Let's see, we still have that 5-minute bearish fair value gap that could hold us. The entry would look something like this at the low of the fair value gap. Equal high buy side. Target the same low that has been run on NQ already. We failed to close above here. NQ is already running into these inefficiencies it has left behind. And there we go. There we are rejecting from that 5-minute bearish. Let's see if that's enough to break the low here. We never really closed above, so no reason to go long here on the 1-minute time frame. Oh, this is ugly so far. 5-minute time frame. Yeah, nice rejection. Still 3.5 minutes to go. Everything could happen in 3.5 minutes. Just after the 9:30 open, it's 9:55, so that next 5-minute candle is going to be our 10 a.m. candle. Beginning of the SilverBullet hour. So far, most of our time we've spent consolidating around the VWAP. Agent Smith, what is Bookmap telling us? Yesterday we spoke about the VWAP. More people buying, selling. One and a half minutes to go. Ten seconds, let's see. New hourly candle just opened up. We're still holding this bearish fair value gap. The potential 2022 entry. But I don't like it. Could be completely wrong about it. If you feel like you want to take it, really feel free to do it. I made my profits on the account today. The funded account won't be traded today. Not with me. I could miss out on that entire short. Yeah, so be it, but nah. I could right here frame both the long, and I had more confluences for the long than I had for the short. Doesn't mean I have to be right, of course. But this would be the short setup. And if you want to go for a higher risk reward, let's say a 2-to-1, maybe like this. Take a quick look at NQ here. Looking good. We need to break below the VWAP here. Right now we're still holding that 830 level across all the time frames. 15 minute retested the inversion and went back lower. Likely this move right here. Now we look like we are going to break. Hope anyone or someone got in that model. Not for me today. I had enough. Because I see the model. We closed below on the 5 minute. We had our bearish fair value gap. Entry like this. Hit 5 points, low hanging fruit target. Take a partial, move the stop to break even. Could still yet end up being a long. But for right now, a scalp. Doesn't mean that's the high of the days, and I don't believe that with all the equal highs here. Could, but doesn't have to be. Let's see if after sweeping this low here we get a very strong displacement, shifting structure. Then I'd be on the long. So now we have SMT divergence. We see right here on ES, we formed a lower low, while on NQ we formed a higher low. Nice confluence. And I think we should have hit the optimum trade entry of this price leg here. Yep. Paired with SMT divergence now between the SN and Q. But first we need to get close above this high. But so far, the AM session has been shitty. Could be because we have power speaking at 12. Don't force anything. If you made some profit today, I think it'd be better to come back at around 130. YM is just selling off. 930 took buy side here on YM and reversed with a pretty decent market structure shift here. I think ES should be selling off now too. Looks like it, yeah. Today's range, 50%, sell side and discount would be right here. Short at the high of the day, yeah, potentially, but not as clean. I prefer the model fair value gaps above, or in this case above the market structure shift, like this one right here. But has been already filled, and we got the confirmation on the 5-minute at 9:35. Continued lower. No, I've seen better setups, and tomorrow is yet another trading day. I don't have to engage during every New York session if I don't like the setup. Let's see, but so far that would have netted 7.5 points. If we get down to the 830 low, yeah, 10 points. Quick scalp, secure 10 points, close your charts, come back maybe for the PM session. But it's just 10:05 yet. There we go. This could be the displacement we've been looking for. We made a lower low. With a potential 1-minute market structure shift, we formed a lower low. Let's take a quick look at NQ. Yep, also with displacement, with SMT divergence. Alright. We didn't close above it. No, we closed above it. NQ is pumping almost back above the high. This would be a nice 5-minute market structure shift if we can get above this high right here. We have 1 minute for this candle to close. NQ already pumped above this high. Let's see. There goes the market structure shift. Let's see if we can close above. High stop closing candle would become the breaker. So we closed above and shifted on the 5. We had a 1 minute bullish there. Here we now have that fair value gap on the 5 minute. We already do not leave behind one. I still don't really like it. Yeah, price action is crappy here, but if we get anything, let's see if this bullish fair value gap holds us. Now we have bearish SMT divergence because NQ did it? No, it did not. Didn't sweep the high. Yeah, look at the price action here. Yeah, we have the market structure shift, but on the 1 minute we have a fair value gap, but we cut right through it. We have one lower than that, but we make lower lows and sweep the highs. Make a lower low, shift structure to sweep the high. Retrace immediately. Might have been just a little fake out. Price action is crappy. I'd blame it on power news. If we do not hold this fair value gap, I'd look for this low to be taken. And there goes the low. From our initial 5 minute bearish fair value gap. That's funny. Yeah, but look at the PA. Now we could sell off, but getting on into that, yeah, into that short. Still with these equal highs. Power speaking at 12. Did anyone execute on anything here? Maybe on YouTube? Let's see if we have anything. The London session this morning was so much cleaner. Like 15 points go up really quickly. Look at this ugly New York session right here. Still inside that 7 to 8 a.m. range. Haven't expanded outside of it. So theoretically still inside the hourly candle right here. Nothing clean on the 5 minute. Now a market structure shift are bullish. Immediately taken out. Sorry for anyone who jumped on that. We sweep sell side. We immediately pull back in. Sort of a seek and destroy formation here. Yeah, of course it could get better later on, but you know, I'd say I'd come back for the PM session. So guys, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. If we continue lower, we should see that from this bearish value gap paired with this inversion. If we immediately go back above it, that's gonna be it for me. Not a high probability short. In the end of the day, just a little guess. You could almost call it a gamble. Not much backing this trade up. The 5 minute candle did not close yet. Now it closed. Yeah, nah. Let's see what YM is doing. Almost below the London almost got to the London session lows. Take a look at NQ again. What would have been nice would be SMT with NQ here at the highs. So it's either this short, not worth it for me right now. Like I said, already up today on the trader weight account with 490. Can't complain about that. That's 1%, is it? Yeah, 1% up. 5% target. All right, and there we go from where we wanted it to continue lower. Entry maybe at Viva about a 50%. And I think it's not, sorry. Into the sell side with this last fake out. Not having to worry about too much of a stop loss here because most of the shorts have been stop hunted with this sudden quick pump to the upside into our initial 5 minute bearish fair value gap, the highest 5 minute bearish fair value gap right here after we shifted 5 minute market structure. Let's see, that sell side liquidity would be a potential target. No, I think we can all agree that we have seen better price action. It's still possible to frame something. But by the time you take this entry, you would have likely taken 1, 2, maybe 3, 4 entries already. And now you'd be maybe with luck back at break even, still trying to force something. That's not working out in this poor price action. Now you wanted to see it continue lower into the sell side, and now it's running against you. Maybe taking that high again. Who knows? Forcing something, putting yourself in a misery. That's what happened to me yesterday after the stream, unfortunately. But that's trading. If you lose control of yourself, basically, that's what can happen. You can mess up a winning streak over the last 3 weeks within one day, within a couple of hours. It's like if you work in a warehouse or a factory where they count the working days without an accident. One accident and that entire streak is gone if you lose self-control. Sometimes it works, and the losses you have made, you actually end up recovering them. But sometimes it also doesn't. And what happens is if it doesn't work? Alright, we already closed back below this bearish fair value gap. Yeah, no. Let's see if we have any questions. Price was nice on Monday, Tuesday during the live stream. We caught some awesome trades, I think. Okay, we still reject. Might get lucky there. Let's go back to the 5-minute. See what we had on Monday. We opened up. Oh yeah, on Monday, 15-point long model during the London session. That was nice. Right here of this bullish fair value gap, we shifted structure. We got in right here. Secured at this buy side liquidity level. Actually ending up being the low for the day on Monday. During the New York session, I don't think I engaged because we didn't get the external buy side liquidity run for a model short, and I don't jump on the long here. But we got in on the short, I think, on the live stream at the end of the live stream at 11:10 from the bearish fair value gap on the 1-minute time frame, securing 15 points. So Monday was really good. On Tuesday, we had I had 2 losses during London. Right here, we swept the Asian session low. Displaced, bullish fair value gap ended right here around the 50%. I think the issue was that I wanted some more profits, maybe, but it didn't hit my 5-point target. So I got stopped out. And then I tried to... No, I didn't try the second long. But right here, then with the New York Open, we watched that during the live stream. We had the displacement. We immediately closed above and we had this massive rally. We never came back into our 5-minute bullish fair value gap right here. Even the 1-minute time frame, we just ran away. This upper fair value gap, yes, but up too high. If we get in here, stop loss is pretty big. And most of the time, price likes to retrace, and those are just the times where I like to enter. But missing out on that opportunity, because I was looking for the long the entire day. I wanted to see the optimum trade entry of Monday to be hit. We did that to the tick. We got our displacement, but price just ran into the previous day's high buy side liquidity and also above this high and this high right here, locking in the high of the week. And I think we got a short in. I got a short in with Fresky during the PM session here for 10 points. I think I let it run for 10 points. Could have held for more, but 10 points was good enough. And on Wednesday, I took another London long, 3:20 2 a.m. We cleared the Asian session high. But we really didn't have a 5-minute displacement here. Displacement came in right here. But by that we have already swept the low. Market structure shift. Ah yeah, I remember that one. That one's low-key sucked because we never closed above until we had this candle. And then I entered on the bullish volume imbalance right here. It ran 5 points, did it? Yeah, perfectly 5 points, but I wanted to see the high of the day at least for 7 points. Didn't play out and we immediately rejected. We just left equal highs behind. Freshky just told me that the short ended up working. Nice. Let's look at the 1 minute time frame here. Yeah, we actually rejected from here. Nice. 10 points. Perfect. And Q as well. And now we're dropping. After all this mess, of course, yeah, eventually it's going to run. But you never know when. And by the time it's running, you likely tried getting in on this move 3 or 4 times, and yeah, you just make it back to break even. It's nothing clean, only little bits of 1 minute analysis. Not a clean 5 minute setup either on the 15. And then if we look at the higher time frame, really what your bias would be is, let me hide all these drawings, bullish, we formed a low, we just place above it, bullish market structure shift, leaving behind a bullish fair value gap. We have a bullish engulfing candle outside of this bullish fair value gap. And what does the market do? No. It goes lower. So it's, yeah, not the easiest thing to trade. You do like your higher time frame analysis. You see good reason to believe, yeah, we hit the 4-hour bearish fair value gap, but we could have retraced after taking all the sell side a little bit further than those 2 little candles. We only took the Asian buy side. Then we get a 1-hour market structure shift, a 1-hour bullish fair value gap. You try to get in on the lower time frame with bullish market structure. Higher high, higher low, higher high. Try to look for a nice entry on this price leg. Continue higher. Market says no. So now we have a 1-hour bearish market structure shift. You see that? Now 15 minute. If we drop it down to the 5. Next sell side target would be 4,320. And if we measure our last fake out move, equal highs, I'm surprised that we didn't take them, but it is what it is sometimes. 4 standard deviations would deliver us into the London sell side liquidity pool. Then we have Powell speaking. From the fair value gap where we outlined it. I wasn't really confident in it because a few other ones that we wanted to see play out didn't really work that well, but eventually you get it right. So it's 10:30. We saw the trade. We had the analysis. The 1 minute. One last run above the high. Above these, if above that liquidity, then we displace, we close below. we hit our 1 minute bearish fair value gap again, paired with the inversion fair value gap, paired with the breaker block. So we sweep liquidity, lowest down closing candle becomes the breaker, we close below, we retrace into it, perfectly respecting this breaker block and continue lower. Hindsight, of course, but possible to take that trade. Maybe someone did watching the stream, we mapped it out, but if not, don't be too upset, don't try to chase now. Wouldn't be worth it, I think. Let's see, maybe we get something during the PM session. But a tricky price action for the New York Open here, very tricky. On the 5 minute, yeah, fresh key kind of the perfect model. If you set your stop loss and take profit according to the rules that we put in place. At the high, target sell side, 2 to 1, yeah, something like that. Clean 2 to 1, make it worth the risk, or target the low, 25 points. Could have even gotten a better entry on the old 5 minute bearish fair value gap, but sometimes it's like that, sometimes not. If we continue lower, let's see if anyone can beat me with my prediction of today's closing price. So guys, don't forget about that. I'm not sure if we have seen many entries yet, because I'm going to end the live stream. Nope, not a single one. So if anyone wants to win a free week of the VIP membership and join us here on Discord to see the trade ideas that I share every day during London and New York, and ad-free non-delayed streams, make sure to join us on Discord. The link is right here in the video description. Join it and then simply guess the closing price of today's daily candle right here inside the general chat. First, you end up in the welcome section, you agree to the rules and disclaimer, and then you should see the general chat as a guess the closing price, and whoever is the closest to the actual closing price wins a free week worth of VIP membership. I will count entries until power news, and winners will be drawn at 6 PM. Little retracement now. Could see resistance from somewhere in this area, because this would now be our, let me get rid of some stuff here, make it clean. We form a high, higher low, higher high. The lowest down closing candle here, let's look at these two, would become our breaker block for the move into London sell side liquidity. We have a 5 minute bearish fair value gap, rejected off the midnight level. Stop loss, I'd place it above this high right here. Entry of the midnight. For the continuation move, sort of the SilverBullet setup, we have our relatively strong bias that the London sell side will be taken. We have a bearish fair value gap paired with a breaker block. We just tested the low of that breaker block to the tick, paired with the midnight level, paired with the consequent encouragement of last week's new week opening gap. Minimum 10 points to our sell side target. If you missed that long here, this would have been the low-hanging fruit SilverBullet continuation model. I'm saying wood here, it could still give you another opportunity. On the 1 minute here, we have this 1 minute bullish fair value gap. Ideally, right now, we would like to see a close below that for the quick continuation lower. 1 minute bearish fair value gap here. Alright guys, you know about the giveaway. Make sure to use the opportunity. And unless there are any more questions, it's a guess. It's